Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. Today we're going to be doing some work over on the castle, but I wanted to start off here in the community area that Scar has recently finished, I believe. Okay, well, I think you're actually supposed to jump down into the water stream, but I didn't. Either way, we're here. Guys, this area is looking amazing. It's looking absolutely amazing. I gotta find... Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This whole build... Oh, dear. I messed it up. Well, we'll fly around it if I can properly take off. I think I can do it. I just need to find a spot with a little bit of height. Come on. There we go. This area is looking incredible. Look at all the work, all the custom terraforming and stuff that Scar has done. This place is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's ready for hermits to get here and start claiming plots and making shops and all sorts of things like that. And I wanted to address some things because Scar, there's been some discussion like in the Hermitcraft Subreddit and on some other places that the community area is horrible. Not necessarily this aesthetic, but basically some of the ideas that we as a group have come up with in that there's going to be a block palette. So basically, there's all these plots and things like that, right? Shops here, they're all marked with signs. And the front facade of every shop, we're going to have a block palette. And this is not something that Scar decided. This is something that we all decided as a group to do. And some people don't like that. They say, oh, it stifles creativity, and it means that we're limited in what we can do with, and we can only build things here. And there's some people who are very irate about the idea. And I just wanted to kind of briefly talk about this before we get into kind of the meat and potatoes of today's episode, and explain why I think A, block palettes are a good idea, and why B, Scar has this whole thing is incredible. So block palettes, right? The block palette for each of these shops is basically any block that can be found within this area. So we got stone, dirt, andesite, wood. There's different types of wood that are kind of spread throughout here. Basically anything that you can find in this area is our block palette. And there are some people who've said that stifles creativity. We want they think we should all be able to build with whatever blocks we want. If we want to make a big shop facade with diorite and purpur and oh, that's a creeper. Oh boy, please don't explode in the middle of Scar's beautiful build. Whew. Okay. So oh, I've got arrows. We're good. Whew, that was close. Yeah, if we want to build with whatever ugly blocks we want, that should be fine, or whatever colors or whatever things. And I want to say that I actually am someone who, A, fully supported the block palette when we talked about it as a group, and thinks that it's actually a very important thing. And here's why. If you look at, for example, go back to Kingdom Craft, right? The server that Scar and myself and Iskall and Ren and Cub and all of us came from before we joined Hermitcraft. Take a look at Kingdom Craft. Each one of those areas was built by a huge group. Each kingdom was built by everybody on the server, but we had a predetermined block palette. And what that does is it adds consistency, and it makes everything look like it fits within the theme. It's basically establishing a theme. If you look at the work that a build team does, right? If you look at big, extravagant builds done by a professional build team, odds are 99.9% of the time they're going to have a block palette that's going to establish consistency and make sure that everything looks good and doesn't look out of place. And this area is no different. I think it's important to have that block palette so that everything fits. Now, the insides of any shops that are built here, it could be whatever we want. There's no limits there. But the idea is that everything has a consistent theme, and I think that's actually very important. And it's something that we all agreed to and were supportive of as a group. It wasn't just Scar's decision. Scar was kind of the point man for this project, but he really didn't make any decisions on his own. There was nothing where he took the lead and said, this is how it's going to be. It was really just, he was kind of the point man who was in charge of, bringing all of our ideas as a group into fruition. And I think Scar has gotten a little bit of hate about the whole thing and about how long it's taken and stuff like that. Do you have any idea how many hours have gone into this? For those people who are a little annoyed with how long the community project has taken, I couldn't do this in like a year. It's amazing that Scar has done this much in only a couple of months, much less, I think he's moved incredibly quickly, in fact. And then the other thing that you have to keep in mind about Scar is that he's a busy guy. He does a lot of other stuff, and occasionally, due to health reasons, he has to take long breaks from doing anything, and that's something that's completely beyond his control. So the fact that he's done this much in a relatively short period of time, and the vast majority of this he did on his own. I mean, most of the hermits helped with digging out this area. Cubfan helped a little bit, I think, with, I know I helped as well. I don't think we're actually showing, we're not showing blocks mined anymore. But Cubfan and I helped as well with some of the other digging out after the initial big dig was finished. # never forget the big dig. But most of this, the vast majority of this, was just Scar by himself doing all of this, and it looks amazing and incredible. So if you're... I would encourage you all to go and give Scar some love and some support, because he's feeling a little bit slighted, like people don't appreciate the work that's been done here. This is incredible. Look at this place. It's insanity. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing in every possible way. I can't even imagine being able to do something like this. Scar is on a whole nother level of builder, and the idea of the shops and the plots and the block palette and stuff, I fully support that, and all the other hermits fully supported that as well. That was not Scar's unilateral idea. That was all of our idea. And we decided that we wanted to do something kind of as like a informal build team, I guess would be the best way to explain it. We decided we wanted to do something as a group where we were all contributing to one massive project, and then it also happens to double as all of our shops and stuff like that for the season as well. So this was a group decision, not just a Scar decision, and anyone sending hate to Scar over that decision is kind of yelling at the wrong person. Like, it's very unfair to Scar because, as I said, it wasn't his decision, it was everybody's, and he just kind of was the point man on this project. But anyway, that's enough rambling about that whole thing. I encourage you all to go send some love to Scar and some support for how amazing this project is. I know he recently talked about it on Twitter and stuff as well, but anyway, we have other things that we need to do. I rambled about that a little bit longer than I wanted to. Let me head over to, castle is this way. Let me head over to my base, get some stuff together, and we'll dive into a little bit of building for today. All right, guys, I am back. I'm back at the castle, and I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do today. Now, one thing that our castle really, really needs, I fell. One thing that our castle really needs is either a church or a cathedral, and thematically, a cathedral would be more appropriate. I want to put the cathedral over here, and it's going to be like a Gothic style cathedral, which means it's going to be huge, maybe even as large as the keep. I want to make it like kind of on the scale of the keep, but a bit smaller and not a lot smaller, just maybe a little thinner, I guess would be an easy way to say it. Because if we look at the keep from way up in the sky, the keep is mostly square. I mean, it's not quite square, but it's pretty close. And I'm thinking the cathedral will end up being roughly the length of the keep going this direction, but a little bit thinner. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And we're going to put it, can I land? There we go. Yeah. So we're going to put it like right about here is what I'm thinking. However, if we're going to put a cathedral here, this area, this terrain needs to be dealt with. We need to do some stuff because this ain't going to cut it. We need this to be a lot more, we need it to be flatter, to be frank, so that we can actually put a cathedral here. It doesn't need to be like perfectly flat, but it needs to be much flatter than it is right now. Because right now, if we actually come down there, it's there's many different levels of elevation. You can see we've got like a hill over here, then this comes up 5 or 6 different blocks. And keep in mind, the cathedral, when we ultimately finish it, is probably going to go from right about where I'm standing right now to like over here-ish. So it's going to be pretty big, and then width-wise, it's probably going to come from about here to just on the other side of this hill as well. So that's a lot of reshaping the land. Quite a lot. Now, luckily for me, I do have a stream that I need to do today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little break from recording. I'm going to do my live stream. I'm going to do a bunch of work on terraforming this area. I do have the replay mod. I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work. I haven't used the replay mod for quite some time, and I certainly haven't used the version of it for 1.12.1 that I have installed. So hopefully it'll work out, and I'll be able to show you guys a pretty cool time lapse of this. But either way, I'll be back with you after I've gotten some significant work done here. right, guys, I am back, and it is roughly 6 hours since we last spoke. Stream is done. We got all of this done. I think I streamed for about 2 hours or so. And then I had some issues with the replay mod. The replay mod worked fine until I tried to render it render the time lapse into a video. And then the video file that the replay mod was outputting looked like a kaleidoscope. So I had to mess around with that for a lot longer than I would have liked. But either way, I got it all sorted out now. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. And we now have an area that is not completely done. I still need to kind of smooth out these edges over here and over here in this area as well. Although I may actually put something up on this this hill right here. But these edges along this side and then back here definitely need to be smoothed a bit. Either way, we have an area here now that is flat enough to actually work with. And I'm looking forward to doing that. Obviously, with a project as big as this cathedral, it's not going to be something that we're going to finish in one episode. Like, there's just no way. But what I'd like to do is start kind of planning out the cathedral a little bit. I also realized that we have this hole right here that kind of needs to disappear. So let's fly over here. We said this right here is going to be our center point. So let's just put a netherrack block like right about here. Okay. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. That's not big enough. Let's maybe go 7 on each side. So that would be a width of 15. Feels a little better, but still not big enough. Maybe we go 2 more. How's that feel? I'm trying to envision, there's going to be towers on either side of it, right? So you have to kind of envision that as well. And I think that will work. Okay. So then we want to come, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 13. So that is kind of the front, right? So we've got basically 2 towers here and here with a large area here in between. And I think what we want to do, oh, man, I'm already looking at this and growing concerned. I think we need to take a look at it from up above. Let's just see. Well, that might work. That might still be fine because the cathedral's going to come back to like about, wow. It's going to come like back to way over there. That's going to be huge. But I think that's okay. So then what we need to mark out, oh, FL. We got to find the center point of this. It appears to be right here. And then same here, right? Because we want to find the center point of this because then the walls are going to continue back that way. So then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's see. First of all, we need to figure out how long this is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33. So this whole thing is 33 blocks wide. To kind of put this in perspective, I don't remember the exact dimensions for the keep, but I want to say the keep was like 39 blocks going from this tower to this tower, and then like 59 blocks from this tower to this tower, like the center of each tower. I think it's something like that. So this is going to be a little thinner than the keep, but then it needs to be much longer. So this was 33 3, I believe, if I remember correctly. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be 49 blocks right there. Let's take a look. If we look at that from up here, yeah, that's definitely not far enough. So this was 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 59 blocks. We do want to keep it odd numbers if we can. Let's see how that looks. That seems a bit better. I still want it to go even farther. So let's maybe go 63. So this is 59, 60, 1, 2, 3. 65. Let's go 65. And let's see how that feels. I have a feeling... fly? There we go. I have a feeling that'll be good enough. Yeah, there we go. That feels better. Wow, this project is going to be much longer, or much larger, than I initially anticipated. That's all right, though. We can do it. Now, here's the thing, right? We want the cathedral to have 3 thick walls on all sides. And the reason for that is that with a build of this scale, we want room to do detail. And we want to do detail using multiple layers of depth. I want to be able to hide background blocks behind kind of the front detail so that we can work in a little bit of color and some of that kind of stuff. So essentially, the interior area of these towers is going to end up being 7 by 7. I thought that was going to be 9 by 9. 7 by 7 isn't bad, though. Like, that's still very usable. Because the towers are going to be such a minor part of the interior that I don't really care that much. Let's bring this over quite a ways. Wow. This is going to be so much bigger than I initially thought it was going to be. I'm a little concerned at this point. I think we can still, I think we'll be fine though, right? So then we'll build this all the way over, basically until it runs into this little bit over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to really do some more terraforming over on this side. I don't need the terrain to be completely flat where the cathedral is, but I really don't want to have the cathedral on like 5 different elevation levels. So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different elevation levels if I don't further terraform this. So what I'm probably going to have to do actually is peel this hill. I'm basically going to make the hill, instead of kind of having it curve around like this, I'm probably just going to have it curve down like this, and then it will run into the cathedral right here. So this is going to be a much larger terraforming project than I had initially thought, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm okay with that. All right, so now the next thing we need to do, and this is kind of the fun part, we need to mark out a cross area. And once again, we want all of our walls to be 3 thick, right? So let's go and kind of mark this out. and just see, that's still going to give us tons of space in the interior, right? Yes. Tons and tons of it. Good. Good, good, good. This is what we want. So we'll have, actually, you come over here. You go here. This comes like this, right? Yeah. And then this will wrap all the way around. And the reason I'm marking this out is because I want to make sure that as I'm kind of laying out the interior, and I'm not going to go like super detailed with interior plans right now. You know, I'm not going to plan out where every bench is going to go and all that kind of stuff, but I need to get at least a general feel for how big this is going to be, how much room we're going to have for different things, how much space we're going to use, you know, all that type of stuff. I need to at least get kind of a general idea. And I think kind of laying out the foundation like this will be very helpful, because we want to make sure that the interior is very large and grand and, you know, to the point kind of like where it almost takes your breath away. You know what I mean? You walk in and you're just greeted with those, like this giant, breathtaking, open area that still has a lot of interest and beauty and detail, but in such a way that it doesn't look super out of place, right? So here's what we need to plan out now. We know that this is going to be the cathedral, right? What we need to plan out, I want to have like a cross shape. So we're going to go this way. And I'm not entirely sure just how big I want this to be. But we're going to kind of look at it from up above. And I may end up, you know, I'll probably end up changing this a little bit. But that's okay. If I need to adjust a block here and there, I think that's perfectly fine. It's more a matter of kind of getting an idea for the general shape and the general feel as we do this. So let's say something like that. And then we need to follow this line up to here, right? And down a ways. Maybe like about here is where we bring this up. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe on 11. We bring that over. And let's just see from up above. From up above. Well, sort of. Flight! Server, please. I don't ask for much. I just want this one thing. We also need to, like, light all this up, because I ended up tearing out quite a lot of it. As like a lot of these torches, I had to tear out to make room for the walls. Torch. And some of this actually was never torched up to begin with. So like a lot of this stuff over here, these woods, we need to get something going here, because we've got incoming already. And I don't have any more torches. All right, well, we're just going to make a run for it. I don't really want to go zombie hunting right now. You. White. Grab. Where'd I put my bed? Over here. Okay. Let's sleep. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at this from way up in the sky. That actually seems about right. If we get rid of this lower one, right? And we keep this right here, you need to die. Like, straight up. You need to die. You've been alive for too long. There we go. That actually seems to be about the right spot for what I'm going for here, because we want like essentially like a cross shape. built into the cathedral, and I think that provides it. Whoa! Oops, messed that up. That's okay. Easy fix. Also, that hurt a lot. You come over here. This all gets torn out. Oh, ghost block. There we go. And then this will come up here like so. And that should give us our cross. Another ghost block. Server, please. Please no more ghost blocks. All right, let's take a look at that from up above, now that we're not dealing at weird angles. And that actually seems about right. That actually seems about right. And these chunks, oh man, the damage. These chunks will probably come up or come out like an extra 2 blocks or so, right? Give or take. Maybe 3, maybe 5, I don't know. But either way, they're probably going to extend out as kind of like, not like caps per se. I don't really know how to explain it, but I can picture it in my mind. And it's going to look beautiful. So it'll be something along those lines. We may also end up putting like a rounded area over here. But this is kind of the basic layout of the cathedral. And then this area that's within the netherrack will be raised up above the rest of it. This is inspired by a cathedral someone linked or showed off on the Minecraft subreddit maybe a week or 2 ago now. I don't remember exactly when it was. If I can track down the post, I'll put a link to it in the description. But I'm going to kind of take that idea and adapt it and make it my own. It's going to be awesome. Also, I know a lot of people have asked, is this going to be just like the cathedral that you built in Kingdoms? The one that I built in my single-player world in the Kingdom of Solace? No. It's going to obviously share some similarities because it's inspired by the same style of architecture, but it's going to be very different, and it'll be like that cathedral on steroids. Like, this thing is going to be so much bigger. It's going to be huge when it's all said and done. Because the area here where this netherrack is, this isn't going to be walled off on the interior. It'll still be open. It'll just be a raised roof area. But anyway, I do think that unfortunately I am out of time for this episode. We got quite a lot done. We did some significant terraforming, and on top of that, we also basically laid out the basis for our cathedral that we're going to be building. So, guys, that is going to do it for me. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.